Welcome, friends, to another edition of Wolff Responds. I want to talk to you today about immigration. That's right. And I'm going to start with the hottest moment of it in many ways. The actual attempt by one of the leading contenders for the presidency of the United States to make political gain out of accusing immigrants of eating people's pets. Yes, I know. For many people, that got you an eye roll and a laugh and a giggle and a shaking of the head at the preposterousness of it. But there is a deep question here, and I want to address it. The deep question is immigration. Are immigrants into the United States today anything like the image of danger, of invasion, of social disruption valid? Is blaming immigrants a new political sport? Have we gone as a nation so far off the rails of rationality that we have also become unspeakably cruel and very, very unethical and immoral? That's a serious set of questions, and I want to answer them bluntly and briefly. The United States is a nation of 330 million people. It is one of the richest countries in the world. It has a large, powerful economy, also one of the strongest in the world. We have a population, perhaps, of 10 to 15 million undocumented immigrants. 10 to 15 of the poor million of the poorest people on earth, many from the desperate conditions of Central and Latin America. No way are 10 to 15 million immigrants, especially when many of them are the poorest of the poor, a threat to an economy of 330 million people, let alone the U.S. economy of 330 million people. It is ridiculous. It is nonsense. And I wouldn't be here talking to you about it if that's all it were. But it isn't. It's also heartless and cruel to those people. They have a right, it's called a human right, to seek a place where they can live and work and raise a family. Just like most Americans descend from people who similarly arrived in this country with little or nothing but the desire to work, live, and raise a family. And if none of that is enough, let me make one more point that should be made all the time, but isn't. And here I want to speak to my fellow members of the working class, people who depend on wages and salaries to live. If we had the courage, if we had the organization, we would demand of the employers of this society jobs. Jobs for everyone, all the time, with a decent income so that you can live and work and raise your family. And you know what? We would be strong enough and proud enough to say any immigrant who comes here who wants to work, to live and raise a family is welcome. And there will be a job and a proper income for them too. We would not permit employers to play games, set us against the immigrant, which is what all the talking about eating pets is all about. And that's all it's all about. We wouldn't let the employer hire immigrants at less money. The employers would have to find work for the immigrants, and they'd have to pay them properly. That's what we would do, because we would do the same for all American workers. There'd be no competition among them. There'd be no need. There'd be no need to hate one another. There'd be no need. There'd be no way for employers to play one against the other. Shame on those of you who take seriously the so-called Judeo-Christian tradition to be so hateful to people who do not deserve it. It's the employers of this country who like to set immigrants against the locals and pay off by having cheaper workers they can cheat, which is what undocumented immigrants face all the time. Why are we, the majority and the working people, allowing this? And then to be fooled into cruelty by being told fabulous stories to make us empathize for the suffering pets, which we do, without the ability to empathize for people who might actually be in such extreme circumstances as to think about such things, let alone do them. Come on. Either Americans are better than that, or they're not. Hating on immigrants is doing the man's work for him. And he, the employer class, is laughing all the way to the bank, mindless of the divisiveness, the suffering, and the needlessness of it all. Drives home to me the need to make a video like this. Don't be fooled. Not by Mr. Vance, not by Mr. Trump, and sadly, not by the degree to which Kamala Harris, too, gets up on the anti-immigrant bandwagon for fear of being what might otherwise be what this country really needs. If interventions like this make sense, please share them with friends, co-workers, anyone who might be interested or moved. Otherwise, the conversation about immigration will be one to which future generations of Americans look back in horror and shame at what was said and what was done. And of course, if you can help us defray the costs of producing and disseminating these videos, that would be enormously appreciated. Thank you.